Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vase. Meant to do a video yesterday, but just got a little too busy, and then I had to join Leah and Tyler Jenks's private class. So there goes my Friday night here in Kiev because I wanted to learn something. That was great. Tyler, huge shout out for all your work. That was a private webinar on Consensio. I still owe Leah $150 for it, which she doesn't seem to be accepting, but we'll work that one out. But yeah, I'm really glad you guys did that, and hope you do more of them. I think it's great. I may be doing, I may be following their model. I might do some private webinars as well. Something on the cheap side, like they did for like $100, $200, something like that. I'll see. I gotta regroup and think. But still in Ukraine. Moved my Thailand trip by a couple of days. Had to stick around here. But off to Thailand tonight. It is 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m. here in Kiev. People in New York are probably asleep on the East Coast. Wanted to get this to you at 6 a.m., but Leah's course ran late till like 1 in the morning. I couldn't even stick around for Q&A. Hope maybe I'll get the video and I'll watch the Q&A after. But I did watch the course till about 1 a.m. here last night. All right, let me pop out the live chat. I don't know. Hey, do I have any? Oh, Corey, great, you're on. Hey, Corey, grab some questions because I couldn't do questions last time. Shoot them over to me on Telegram. That should work, and we can do that. Let me make sure my video is playing, and it is. All right, so that's good. How many people we got watching? We got 230 people watching. They're about to join in. Let's go to screen share. Let's just let me do this and go to home. Go to workshops. All right, cool. Let's do screen share. Boom. All right. All right. Where am I at here? Oh yeah, workshops. Chiang Mai down to 4 seats, and I know one more person is about to register in a minute, so we'll be down to 3 seats. I can't believe I sold out Chiang Mai, but Singapore is kind of empty, which is okay. I can use a break. The Singapore workshop will still happen. It's going to happen no matter what. But it just means that I may not be back in Singapore workshop for a while because I guess I drew out all of the demand, because I did do one in Singapore earlier this year. I believe I did one in Singapore back in like January or something like that. So so I'm not surprised doing 2 in 1 year in the same city is probably too much. So so there it is. After that, it's a bunch of Australia. And if you go to full schedule, the Vegas is now open. It's going to be a bigger workshop. I haven't decided yet if it'll be, maybe I'll do something a little more advanced. I don't know yet. Because this Vegas workshop is part of the Unconfiscatable conference. It's the conference that I'm organizing. It's the conference and poker tournament. And guess who is now playing in the celebrity poker game? It is Doug Polk. My mission this week is to reach out to other celebrities to try and get them in the celebrity game. If you want to play in the celebrity game, you would have to enter the satellite tournament that takes place on the 23rd of January. It's only a 0.1 Bitcoin buy-in with the top 3 winners, the top 3 finishers, I should say, not winners. The top 3 finishers moving on to the celebrity game. We have some registered already. The celebrity poker game, I will be just reaching out to people directly. And but if you want to apply for it, go for it. Because if I don't, well, actually, no. If you are a celebrity and you want to apply for it, because I can only read so much. However, if I don't fill the 1 Bitcoin tournament entry for 30 people, then I'll offer it to the people joining the regular tournament if they want to pay an additional 0.9 and go directly to here. But the only people that will get a chance to do that are the ones that are signed up. Okay, so if you want to pay up, then you can like join the final game. This one will have, you know, actual financial rewards. But this one doesn't. This one just has entries into here. This is a good networking event, though. I mean, spending 0.1 Bitcoin to sit at a table with Bitcoiners, you know, selling your ICO is probably a good, advertising strategy. Okay, and speakers. More speakers are coming. Peter Todd's card should be getting in here any minute, and I'm working on more speakers. Workshops. Mine, Jimmy's, and Tyler so far. Working on more. Ticket prices go up after 42 more people buy a seat. Okay, so this thing usually goes slow, 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 and then fast. So keep that in mind. Ticket price, and if you want to really support Tone Vase, you know, buy a premium ticket. You get a few extra perks and more access to the speakers. All right, that's it. I don't have any sponsors yet. I got to figure that part out too. Kind of new at this whole conference thing. All right, let's talk prices. Oh, Twitter. So I think I've decided what I'm doing with crypto Twitter in order not to like quit the industry. I'm gonna hire a Twitter manager so that after I tweet something, I only tweet, I don't look. So basically, there will be a time in the very near future where replying to my tweets are read by someone other than me. And all I do is tweet out. And then if my person says, hey, Tone, something interesting has been replied to your Twitter, he will then directly send me the link to that reply. Like I need a filter now because crypto Twitter has just become so toxic that I don't want to look at it anymore. Maybe I should like I wish there was a way, like I said, to turn off replies to your tweets like I did with my YouTube videos at one point. It just became so toxic. And after I turned off YouTube comments for like 3 weeks, it got so much better, like so much better. So so I may have to just, you know, get a person that screens every reply because it's A, toxic, and B, became completely silly. All right, now we have enough people. We have 430 people. Let's start. I feel much better though. It's funny how someone said Toner is always sick. I'm actually almost never sick. Like I've never had the flu in my life. I think I get about 1 or 2 headaches a year. And all I get is an occasional cold that lasts about 3 days. And that's also rare. The reason why some of you may think I get sick a lot is because I'm on video every day. Okay, the monthly chart is starting to get interesting. So I know it's not this low anymore. Now the monthly chart, I believe, is Bitfinex. Oh no, it's not Bitfinex. Sorry, it's the BLX index from Brave New Coin. That's why it updates once a day. I really wish it updated once an hour. That would be so much better. So much better. So where are we here? As you can see, according to last night's close, what time is it in New York? It's almost 2 a.m. in New York. So that's about 12 hours ago, right? So as of 12 hours ago, look at the prior last down close. The prior last down close was $6,388. The current close is $6,220. We have about 15 days left, 18 days left. I don't even know what day it is. I don't know what day of the week it is. It's welcome to the story of my life. And we, at the moment, like the month doesn't have to close this way, right? Like we are working with the best information we got, all right? The month doesn't have to close this way, but if it does, this would be the lowest closing month of the year. Now, that's bearish. That is absolutely bearish. The most important thing in trading the most important thing in trading. It's not volume, it's not moving averages, it's not the TD sequential, it's nothing. There's only one important thing. Just one, and that's price. It's price. The only thing that matters is price. Time is important, but when it comes to your charting, it's all about the price. All about the price. You know what? Let me stop camera so I can save on bandwidth. It's all about the price. And if the price gives you a new closing low, especially without a big wick, that is the biggest bearish sign you can have, and you can almost treat everything else as secondary and potentially irrelevant. Okay? That's it. That is absolutely critical. Absolutely critical. All right? So you have to keep that in mind. You absolutely have to keep that in mind. So actually, hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta do something real quick. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So this is still looking like sometime next month, we are going to hit the combination of upwards. I really can't wait till next month because of the moving average touching the Fibonacci line. And we've had the moving average touch the Fibonacci line last year in October, which makes sense because last year we topped in November. See, this year we topped in December. So we topped 1 month later. So I'm not surprised that the 30-week moving average is touching the same Fibonacci line by percentage, the 76.4%. I'm not surprised that we're touching that line also 1 month later, okay? Now, there was one other thing that I've been seeing on Twitter. So people have been drawing this trend line that I have slightly differently. Interesting. I really felt like this trend line was touching the bottoms of those candles. Maybe they readjusted the thing here. So I'm gonna readjust mine this way as well. Okay. So a lot of people are drawing their trend line supporting the price back in 2012 along with the bottom of 2016, in which case you are coming up on that trend line. But as you can see, when I use the index, which relies heavily on Mt. Gox data back then, you can see that my trend line is not doing that. My trend line had all of that below the trend line. So I don't have a problem with the price going lower because of the way I drew my trend lines, okay? And you had a steeper trend line earlier. See, so what you have here is Bitcoin becoming less, I don't want to say the word volatile, but less upwards trendy over time, right? So here was the original monthly uprise of Bitcoin. As you can see, the 2014 high missed that support line. Like I can't even like fudge it, right? Like we missed it. This was the very first Bitcoin bull run support line right here. Okay. Yeah, I can do it like that. All right. That was the first one. See how steep that is? It's like almost a 45-degree angle. But, oh, I guess I can make the angle whatever that I want. Now these are log charts, people. Log charts. Now let me copy. Let me make this darker. Okay. And let me copy this line. You know what? I'll do one more. I'll do one from here. And then I'll zoom in on it. Right. So that was the other one. And here is the less steep line. Not really sure how to best draw it, but something like that. I'll adjust it in a minute. All right, now I can make this bigger. See, and here is the other one, right? And we overshot it. So here is the other big support line. So what's the best way to draw it here? I want to touch the maximum amount of candles. So maybe like this. So I had it right the first time, right? So here's the other one. Boom. And as you can see, you still have room here. Still got room. So here are your 3 supporting trend lines starting from 2011, 2010 even, starting in 2010. And this one was steeper, this one is less steep, and the third one is less steep still. And so the next one will probably be even less steep because Bitcoin is becoming harder and harder. Like the higher you go, the harder it will be to push it even higher, right? So because there's more value on chain. So here is the last one. Now the prior we have fallen under each of these trend lines each and every time. So here is the last one. And remember, we have fallen under the previous 2. So to me, it makes total sense that we will fall under this one. And guess what? We never went above the first one. We never went above the second one, ever. So it's very possible that for the history of Bitcoin, we will never go above this line. But that's okay. It means Bitcoin can still be, what, $150,000 a coin by November of 2023. You know, we'd all like it to be $1 million by 2020, but so far with 2 prior, you know, base supports that lasted over a year, but I'm just discovering this now. It's not like I planned to do this. I don't normally spend 20 minutes on monthly charts, but as I started like thinking about this and looking at the chart and critically thinking, this is my very short history of looking at it. And just think about it, right? We started off on a steep rise and then went exponential off of it, like the hyperwave, like Tyler's hyperwave. But I'm using monthly charts, so it's on a larger scale. Hey, maybe this could be a new model for you guys. You can, again, Tyler developed hyperwave. Maybe this idea, and with very specific criteria, weekly candles with no violation of a close. And I'm using monthly candles. So obviously this does not fall into the rules of hyperwave. But this is interesting to me, especially if the pattern repeats one more time into 2022. Yeah, you'll have to wait about 3 more years in order to really do something like this. Or you can go back to other, you know, assets and see if your monthly charts look something like this, where you have these trend lines supporting the price, and then you fall below that trend line and never, ever, ever break above that trend line. You can reach that trend line like what we did, you know, back in December, but you can't break it. I don't know what happens if you break it, but there you go. I don't know how this would look on a linear chart. I have a feeling you may have to only use logarithmic charts for this, but try it on a linear chart, play around with this. These are monthly charts. I recommend using BLX as your ticker because it has history going to 2010, okay? I'm finding this a little interesting. I had no idea where I was going with this. And this is how research starts, guys. People always make fun of technical analysis, but you know what? You sit around, you notice a pattern. You know what happens after this? After this, like a developer, like you come up with an idea, oh my God, I can program this. And then for the next week, you spend nothing but coding. Like you barely eat, you barely sleep. So you find something like this and you start analyzing every chart you can ever think of. And you start figuring out, is this something to make money on for the next 20 years? And then you spend, you know, a good, I don't know, 200 hours on this over the next week or two, as many as you can. And then if you come up with a tradable strategy, you shut up, don't tell anyone, and try to make money for the next 20 or 30 years. And then either pass it on to your kids or sell it to a hedge fund, which is difficult because they're not going to trust that they're the only ones you're selling it to. Or write a book, make it public, make it less profitable, but be famous. Those are your choices, okay? But I don't really see how the other people are drawing their trend lines. This is how I would do it on a monthly chart. And this gives me another, because of two prior experiences with the two prior major bubbles. This wasn't a major bubble. This was a minor hiccup, the one in April of 2013. The two prior major bubbles of Bitcoin all broke below the base trend line that kicked off the bull market. So what do you think is going to happen this time? The odds are greater than 50% that this green line is going to be broken. Will it be broken this month at 3,500? Or will it be broken in, let's say, May of 2019 at a price of 5,800? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to break this line at 58 in May or at 35 in 2 weeks. But I am going to be looking for this line to be broken, and this line will now be permanently on my charts. And this line is a support line, but it's a support line that has broken twice before. And I am looking for this to break one more time, which is unfortunate because this now gives me more reason not to consider 5,000 as the ultimate bear market low of the 2018 bear market. It's unfortunate that I found this out in real time, live on camera, but it is another point. So haters, have at it. Let's move on. The actual hyperwave, the way I drew it, you know, man, you guys, the way I drew the hyperwave, it's one more tick down, and there goes phase 3, I think. Could be phase 2. Yeah, I drew it a little bit differently. Drew it differently. I don't remember how I drew this. It's a video back there somewhere. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about this. I'll let the expert Tyler deal with it. This is Bitfinex. Got rejected by the middle Bollinger Band again. Stop and reverse points are very steady, almost like a straight line. So we wait for the bottom Bollinger Band to get touched one more time. Oh, scratch that. We wait for the bottom Bollinger Band to be touched for the first time. Now let's go back in history. Did the Bollinger Band get touched in the 2014 bear market? Yes, it did. So in the 2014 bear market, we initially touched the Bollinger Band back in April, but did not close below it. We touched it, actually we touched it back in March as well. March and April, we touched it, didn't close below it. We finally closed at the Bollinger Band in September of 2014. Then below it oh, this is weekly, right? September, so September was bad. So September of 2014, we closed below it, and then we closed below it again in January. We have not yet closed below the lower Bollinger Band. We have not even touched it. Look how much time we spent closing above the upper Bollinger Band during the run-up. I don't ever recall a bear market that spent, well, I've never seen a bear market that spent this much time above the Bollinger Band, but I've never seen one that spent a significant time above the Bollinger Band and never touched and or closed below the bottom Bollinger Band. So that's coming. Statistically, that's coming. It doesn't have to. Nothing has to happen. Guys, remember, nothing I say has to happen. I'm not trend on shavers in 2012. I don't control the price of Bitcoin. Okay. So right here, we need to touch the bottom Bollinger Band. And at the moment, it's sitting at 5,600. And if we start accelerating down, Bollinger Band is going to fall. So we have to fall even more to close below it. So here is my bread and butter chart. Notice something interesting on my bread and butter chart. All price markers and price data has been turned off because I don't care. I'm not looking at this from the perspective of what price we're at. I'm looking at it from the perspective of understanding the descending triangle. And this descending triangle did not even reach the top of the triangle like I thought it would. I'm actually surprised that the 30-week moving average is leveling out. The problem with this is I can't adjust the vertical scale. So we're stuck with this. We are back at the bottom of the triangle. Being back at the bottom of the triangle in this point in time is very dangerous because you're nearing the end of the triangle. So it's Saturday, so we only have 2 more days. I really, I'm actually considering, like, as much as I always said, I don't want to make a trade because I don't want to talk my trade. So I don't trade for a reason. I don't trade for multiple reasons. But I do have my BitMax account. That's why I show the BitMax affiliate code, which, by the way, is right here. Oh, man, I'm on my conference site. Affiliates, hey, guys, if you like my work and you want to support my work, please check out the affiliates and referral section of my website, which also has, if you refresh it and don't have an ad blocker, I have no ads on my site, so feel free not to ad block it. My tech gear, and if you want to support, just click on any of these things and do your Amazon shopping. You don't have to buy that thing. My BitMax affiliate code, I'm really, really considering making a trade. I seriously am considering making a trade. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait because I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to get caught in the short squeeze, I hope. I'm going to wait for next week. And if next week is a red 2 below a red 1, oh, man, I mean, that's just beautiful. I mean, we had that here, right here. This was an amazing triangle. It actually broke out on the 1. If you put a triangle right on this bad boy here, a bullish triangle, this was, there was a tweet in real time where we're breaking out of this triangle, and I'm like, oh my God, we're about to go up 50%, and we did. So it's not different this time. The only difference is, oh man, let me not do that. The only difference is the triangle is in reverse. So if next week we have a red 2 trading below the current, like I really don't want the price to fall any more the next 48 hours. I really don't want it to fall any more the next 48 hours. I really want it to just stay here. I want no volatility next 48 hours because next candle going below this candle and dropping below the triangle is going to be like, oh man, look, I'm not saying the short's going to work out, but if I was at a blackjack table and I just got, you know, an 11 against the dealer 6. The only thing I'm thinking of, man, why didn't I make this bet bigger before I doubled down the bet? It doesn't mean I'm going to win the hand. It does not mean I'm going to win the hand. So you don't want to put all of your money on this trade. Like, how much of your life savings would you put on a blackjack hand if you knew? Oh, okay, here's your prisoner's dilemma, right? Well, not really. Prisoner's dilemma is totally different. I'm an idiot. Here's your question of the day. So you know you have a friend that's the dealer at a blackjack table, and he set up the first hand of the blackjack table to start the dealer on a 6 and start you on an 11. But you don't know what card the dealer has face down under that 6. And you don't know what cards are going to come out next. So the question is, how much of your life savings will you put on that hand, knowing that you will have, everyone is watching, so you will then have to double down? Okay, so this is it. This is it for me, right? Will I trade next week because like the only other, like I can't even think of, I'm looking at this whole thing, right? Like from a statistical perspective on weekly candles, the only other cleaner trade anywhere here, no, there isn't one. There isn't a cleaner one. The only other trade that comes relatively close by percentage is the short at the depth cross at the top of the triangle. And statistically, this is not as good as next week's red 2 below a red 1 below this bottom of the triangle. It's just statistically the best trade I've seen all year. Will I take the trade? I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you know tomorrow when I get to Thailand, or maybe Monday. I gotta get my schedule figured out. Man, I don't want to. I'm really spending a lot of time on these. I do have to check out of this hotel and get some food and stuff. Daily chart has been generally useless. On a daily chart, statistically, this was a great trade. However, it wasn't a reversal candle, so it wasn't perfect. The one on the weekly chart is better. This was also an amazing. This was okay. I called this one kind of good. This was a really good trade statistically, and as you can see, it wasn't clear. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good after the fact. This was an amazing trade off the 6,000. Statistically, it was great, but the triangle breakdown right here, this is almost as good as the weekly, but the weekly is on a larger scale, so it's better. And yeah, this one was hard to navigate. There were some perfect bullish and top calls. This was my perfect top call at 7,500, and this was an even better top call at 5,000 because of statistics and technical analysis. All right, the daily chart has not been your friend because it has not given you any clean trades. We're consolidating, which is good. I think I'm going to go through the rest quickly. The 12-hour chart has been great. However, we really need a big drop in order to keep the count going. But this is a good thing. This is a good thing. I want the count to reset because the 12-hour chart has been great. Last time, I said that this is your short trade after 3 small failed trades. This was a huge successful trade. At this point, you absolutely must move your stop loss down to whatever line that is, right? Adjust for Bitstamp accordingly, because Bitfinex and Bitstamp are $100 off each other or whatever. So that's my new stop loss off of, it's my new stop loss. We got 860 viewers now. Awesome. That's my new stop loss off the top here. And I want to see the count reset. I want to see a green one. I want to see a a red one. Actually, I want to see a green one, a green two, a red one, and then a red two on Monday as we're breaking the setup trend line and the triangle. Like I want the 12-hour to line up with the weekly, and the 1 hour. Sorry, the 1 day is gonna be a problem. It'll be like a 5 going below a 4, but that's still tradable. The 4 hour hasn't done anything. I'm not even going to talk about it. The 1 hour gave you some good bottoms on some sequential 13s. So maybe sequential 13s are useful. That's good to know. Short interest is not where I'd want it to be if I'm actually going to take on a trade and short the market. This is a good chart. This is the spread between Bitfinex and Bitstamp. So I got to label these things. Like some of these were tether issues. This is another banking issue on Bitfinex. Just for the hell of it, I threw the sequential on the spread between Bitstamp and Bitfinex. So here's the name of the chart. How do I do the name of the chart? Rename. Bitfinex versus Bitstamp ratio. So you can see we've been here before, and you can draw a little trend line. So we've been here before, and the prior 2 times it swung the other way. So if you're an arbitrager between Bitstamp and Bitfinex, it's probably a good time to consider the swing and reversals. You sell on Bitfinex and you buy on Bitstamp, but that's not a very profitable strategy. And I was just curious if the sequential system is any useful here, and just for the hell of it, right? Because you can apply it to anything. So just for fun. So you can go ahead and make that chart. You can jot down the URL too. It'll totally work. Not the sequential though. Ethereum, I don't have time for this. This is nonsense. S&P 500. Guys, so I threw a lot of caution flags. A lot of caution. Oh, there's one more thing on the monthly. I'm sorry. One more thing I totally forgot. This is very interesting, right? The monthly gave you a one-off price flip. A one-off price flip is really something that you mentally have to know, because the difference between this being a green 1 and a red 5, let's see how much that is. The close here was 69.25. The close here was 77.25. If the month had, let's say, what is this, July? I believe July has 31 days. If this was a month like February that has 28 or 29 days, this could have been a red 5. Like the difference between this being a red 1 and a red 5 is very, very small. And this is a time momentum indicator. So if this would have been a red 5, then this would have certainly been a red 6, a red 7, and a red 8. So another way to look at it is not that we have a red 3, but that we have a red 8. And if the next month is a huge capitulation down to 5,000, and then I see strength with a long bottom wick, I will treat that red 4 more like a red 9 than a red 4, looking for a potential full reversal. So now we're looking at a monthly chart, and I gave you a reason to assume that 5,000 will not be the end all of the bear market. However, if you look at it from the perspective of TD, and you treat this like not as a price flip, then 5,000, Swift dropped to 5,000, and then a decent reversal off of it could be the 9 buy. However, you have to be careful to watch out for a 1 to 4 month counter dead cat on trampoline bounce, potentially as high as 10,000 before the continuation of the bear market. Now, if we do move from 5,000 to 10,000 and then back to 5,000, this could mean that the bear market could last past the halving of 2020. Don't want to scare anyone, but that's technical analysis, okay? I hope it doesn't. I hope we swiftly bounce off of 5,000. I hope this trend line is wrong and we don't go below it, and then we go back to 20K, okay? I hope that, we all hope that. And I hope Lightning Network works, right? Because, hey, if the Bcash crazies are right and Lightning Network does not work, then yeah, then Bitcoin could be in a bit of trouble. People will lose a little confidence in core developers, in the network, in micropayments, in scalability, and the price can absolutely go into a 2 more year bear market if that happens. Okay, let's get back to this. So here's the S&P 500. The S&P 500 weekly is on a price flip. However, if next week starts off strong, this could be over. Now, I gave plenty of warnings for people to get out of the stock market. I was very, very cautious here, very cautious. Do I think this is the top? No, I don't. I think we can still make new all-time highs this year. And I'm still very confident we will make new all-time highs next year. So I am not bearish by any means. So here's what you guys have to understand about analysis. People keep asking me, when am I going to be bullish Bitcoin? Well, I'll be bullish Bitcoin when we can cross the last recent high. And the last recent high is right here at $8,500. Okay. Now, in the S&P 500, it's the opposite. Tone, when are you going to admit that the S&P 500 is in a bear market? Well, we need to cross the prior swing low. Where is the prior swing low? That's at 25.85 area. So until the S&P 500 goes below the 25.85 area, I will remain it's a bullish market. It could be a short-term top. When was I going to be a bear of the January correction? I would have waited for the swing low to be broken. That swing low was all the way down at 24.30. Now the swing low is at 25.80. So unless the S&P goes below 25.80, we're in a bull market. And even if it does go below 25.80, I will then be looking for the channel to hold. So then I'm only looking at 2,300. Do I think it's possible for us to come down to the prior swing high of 2007 at 1,576? It's possible. When will I take that idea seriously? When am I going to take the idea that the S&P 500 can reach 1576 when we break the bottom of this channel? Until we break the bottom of this channel, I'm only taking 2138 seriously, which is the prior swing high, major swing high, and the bottom of the channel. So once we fall into this channel and close inside the channel, I will take the bottom of the channel seriously, which is at 2,400. Once we break the bottom of the channel, I will take 2,100 seriously. And once we break 2,100, which was the high of 2015, I will then take the 1577 seriously. For now, I don't. You guys can make fun of me all you want about me being bullish the S&P 500, but people have been making fun of me about being bullish the S&P 500 since 2013. And look, a broken clock can be right. I mean, if you scream, if you have your own podcast and you scream every week that the S&P 500 is going to crash, once every 8 to 10 years, you're going to be right. One day out of 8 to 10 years, you're going to be right. I'd rather be on the other side of that trade. This is very, very promising. Now, I would love to see a 9 here, but the bottom comes on a 6 candle. So I would love to see a little bit of a secondary low with divergence on daily between the RSI and MACD. So let's see what happens Monday and Tuesday. But if you change this to a 2-day candle, and I know this is going to look weird as hell. I don't even have a 2-day candle as an option. Oh man, I wanted a beautiful hammer, but it's not a beautiful hammer. It's just a hammer. We're holding setup trend on a 2-day, though at this point, I don't really need a 2-day. Let's go back to daily. We're holding this setup trend as well, but we've broken the last 2 setup trends. Your moving averages look starting to get a little ugly here. But we have a daily channel that was broken. I think we can get back to the depth cross here and then reevaluate. So I think we can hit a 9 unless Monday is a huge update. Guys, if Monday is a big update, this could be over. This could be over. And I warn people. I warn people off of that 9 and off of this 9. And I was very nervous here. I gave plenty of warnings. People should have listened. But I'm starting to look for bullish opportunities in the stock market. I think the hissy fit's over. I think that, oh man, this podcast is too long. I gotta talk about rates. Shit. Next time. Next time. Gold, bit of a dead cat bounce. We'll see what happens. Silver, nothing's happening. Oh, I don't even have time to talk about it. My AMD, look at that, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my goodness. So the other day, right? The last time I did a video, I said, hey, that's it. Get that. If you were short AMD, this is it. Like don't risk it. You have a 9. You had a bullish day after the 9. You buy back in. And then boom, you pop to the upside. I mean, like the TD is just amazing. Here is Apple, and you can see that in Apple, unlike AMD, there wasn't an indication to get out of your short trade. And the following day, unlike AMD, see, AMD already had a bullish day and it closed above the prior close. So it had an up day. Apple had a down day and it was around 5. But look, it's a reversal candle. That is a doji candle. So you have to be careful. And then boom, you pop to the upside. So at this point, your stop loss should have been hit. Am I bullish here? Not yet. I want to wait for a price flip and a green 1 above a green 2. But AMD, there's a tradable bounce. You could have already been long off of the 9, off of this green candle. Could have already been long, and you reevaluated one. You already have break-even stop, and now you reevaluate. This is how you trade up and down, up and down. You short, long on a swing term basis. Let's look at the next one. Wow, another one, beautiful. 913 at the low, positive day the day after. You don't wait for a price flip. You just go in, and you already in a profitable trade. And you should have a break-even stop loss now. This trade can't cost you money. If Monday is an up day, I have no idea, but I have a feeling that it could easily be an up day on Monday. You're in, and the TD times you perfectly on Facebook and AMD. Tesla, you would not be long, right? Tesla, you would still consider the short or get your stop loss hit. But there was an aggressive 13, but that's not enough for me to do it. That was a beautiful 9 telling you to buy the damn thing. This would have been a 9 sell if Elon Musk didn't say something stupid and get fined by the SEC. It should have been a 9. If I had manual, I would manually change these numbers, you know, if I could. And if there was a green 2 above a green 1, I would consider the long play, but I would stay away from Tesla right now. Oh, beautiful. Look at Amazon. Amazon was on a red 8, the beautiful doji. You got to be careful here, right? When you have a doji, and And the terminology I use here is a doji on an island. This is a doji on an island. This is a doji with a huge gap. It closed the gap, but it didn't have to. So this is a huge gap. This gap has fully closed. We left a down gap. We do have a 9. It came one candle off the low. That was a doji. When you saw this doji, and there was no reason to get out of your short trade on Amazon on the 10th of October, but there was absolutely a reason to get out of your AMD short on the 10th because there was a 9. So at the end of the day, you got to take your profit. When you're in Amazon, you don't have to take your profit at the end of the day. You just have to lower your stop loss because you're looking for 2 more days of downside. The following day, you got rewarded, but the following day is now an 8 and a doji candle, and now you don't want to risk an up gap, which is what happened. I know hindsight's 2020. I didn't have time to do a video the other day. So, but now you should definitely be out of this trade. It's a 9. If the next candle starts trading above the current candle, that's a bullish play. On a counter trend bounce, keep in mind, you're probably going against the weekly downtrend at this point. Netflix, same exact thing. No reason to panic on this 7 candle off your short play. The following candle is an 8. Now you're noticing dojis everywhere. The stock market was strong at the end of that day. So you got to be smart. And if you didn't get out at the end of the day, you definitely should have gotten out on the 9 on your short play. Tomorrow, if you're trading above that candle, that's a bullish play. Not tomorrow, Monday, whatever. Someone showed me this chart. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So this is very similar to Bitcoin, unfortunately. Not very similar, but similar enough. So if I take this and I draw a triangle, look what happened. Make it red. Okay. That's a triangle, folks. That's not much different than the current weekly Bitcoin triangle. You had a big fall quickly, and then you were making a triangle. And this is what I mean about statistics. It's just statistics, folks. I had no idea the home builders were in such to-do. Be careful with real estate, folks. Be careful with real estate. But this is how descending triangles break down. Let's throw the TI in here. Now notice this wasn't the best time to go short. It was a 9. But then you had a 1 and a red 2 below a 1, breaking the triangle, you're still in short. It's not as clean as Bitcoin's. Definitely not as clean as Bitcoin's. But that's statistics, folks. This is your blackjack double down, 11 against a dealer ace. Sorry, dealer 6. Why did I say that? Your 11 against a dealer 6. Well, no, actually it's not. This is more like your 10 against a dealer 4 or something, right? Because this is not a red 1 going below a red 2 after consolidation at the lows. So this triangle wasn't even as obvious as the Bitcoin's triangle as to what to trade. Only for the second time this year, am I considering, maybe the third time. So the other time I considered making a trade was here, a bullish trade, I might add. Oh, and obviously the one when I recognized the bear market in January. So this is the 4th time. This is the 4th time. And I think statistically speaking, I am more. This is how you only take on, less than 10 trades a year. Like a really good trader minimizes the number of trades that he does. There were other really cool charts actually. Let me go to my Twitter feed. Give me 1 second. God, crypto Twitter is like I can't even look at all your comments, but like let me see how long this takes. A couple of good things on Twitter. This was a good one. This was a good one. Please don't use this as encouragement to tag me and shit, because I'm about to hire a like a Twitter screener, so I don't have to read your nonsense. But this was good. This was not nonsense. So thank you. Who are you? Nope, those are my comments. Is that your name? Basic TA instead of moon calls. I like that. So again, here's a triangle. So I believe this is Ethereum versus Bitcoin, but it doesn't matter what the asset is. It doesn't matter what the asset is. And here's Bitcoin on a 2-day chart. There, 2-day chart. 2-day chart. And there's your triangle. And here's how the Ethereum nonsense ended. And this is just statistics. And let's see if this ends the same way, right? And I mean, it's not about whether I want it to happen or not. It's about statistics, right? Like when I'm playing blackjack and I get a 6 and the dealer has a 10 or an 11, I know what's going to happen. If I win the hand, I like, you know, thank the, well, let me not say that statement. I consider myself lucky. So if this doesn't happen, consider yourselves lucky, because statistics did not happen the way they were supposed to. All right, I know Corey has like a million questions for me. Let me get one more thing. This one is in my my private group, only for consulting clients. Thank you, Mo. Shout out to Mo. I have to save this image. Hold on, save image as pictures. TD9. I think this is Sugar. I should have just pulled it up, but he had a really good one, so I don't need to. So I'm going to save this chart, and I'm going to open this chart. Wish it was in higher resolution, but here is Sugar, and this is a 4-week chart or a monthly. He put it on a 4-week chart. And look at these 9s. Boom, 9 buy, 9 sell, 9 sell. It's not going to work every time. It's not going to, it didn't time the bottom for you. You know, it's not, nothing's perfect. 9 buy here with a reversal candle didn't quite work out. Beautiful reversal candle here. 9 sell, 9 buy, 9 sell, and currently at a 9 buy. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I mean, people that say technical analysis doesn't work, like, you just don't want to take the time to learn it. That's all I can say. It works. Absolutely works. All right. Affiliate codes. If you like my work and you want to support my work, I might make a public trade. I'll think about it tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. I'll think about it during my 8-hour flight to Thailand. By the way, you want to know the worst case scenario? If I'm on a flight to Thailand and Bitcoin falls like $1,000 and I wasn't in the trade, it's not the worst case scenario. It'll be bad for me. So I may place that trade before I get on that flight, and then this way, I'll make sure I set a stop loss, right? Because I'm not gonna get wrecked while flying on an airplane with no internet connection. So yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted. I might make my first trade this year on Bitcoin. I have not made any trades on Bitcoin all year, not one. So this might be my first trade. It's just too perfect. Statistically, it's too perfect. Is it going to be correct? I have no idea. I'll tell you where my stop loss is. I know everyone's going to go and pre-run the trade, and everyone's going to get short squeezed before I enter it. So that's the risk that you will take. That's the risk that you will take. So BitMax affiliate code, save 10%, and support my work with affiliate codes. Done. Conference, my conference. Well, it's not really my conference. Other people are helping. Huge shout out to Jimmy Song and Leah, and thank you, Doug Polk, for going to win your money back from me at the Celebrity Poker Tournament with a 1 Bitcoin buy-in. And to get into the celebrity game, you will need to be one of the top 3 finishers in a game a few days earlier with a 0.1 Bitcoin. And there is a full day conference. There'll be a full day conference on Sunday, and there'll be workshops. Everything is independent registrations, guys. Playing in the poker tournament does not get you into the conference. The conference only has 300 tickets up for sale. Tickets go up every 50 tickets. Every time we sell 50 tickets, we'll raise the prices. It's in Vegas, and have fun. Let's have some fun. It'll be fun. Hey, Bitcoin drops. I'm denominating this in Bitcoin, right? It's amazing how many people think I hate Bitcoin. I'm denominating in Bitcoin. I'm taking on all of the volatility risk. I'm gonna have to hedge this somehow. I'm gonna have to hedge it, which is another reason why. You see, another reason why I'm actually comfortable making the trade now is because as the payments come in for the conference, I need to hedge it. I need to probably sell a futures contract on BitMax for all of the registrations that have taken place. You can see that people have bought VIP tickets. You can see that people have bought regular tickets, right? This started at 50. Though this doesn't actually, I'm trying to keep the counter up to date. So I have to hedge this Bitcoin, right? Because if the price of Bitcoin crashes by 50%, I have to pay the venue in fiat. I have to pay employees in fiat. So I gotta hedge this, which is why I feel way more comfortable shorting by selling a futures contract, selling this Bitcoin forward to guarantee this, so that if it falls in price, my hedge makes up for the loss of the conference revenue in fiat terms. So I don't mind making that trade. I have a reason to do it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then the conference is making me good money. I'm not looking to profit from this conference, by the way. I just want to make sure I don't lose money. And I do want to take care of the speaker's expenses and all this other stuff, And if the conference is profitable, I have some volunteers that I want to take care of as well. And some of the money will be donated to Bitcoin development. Absolutely. I should probably make that very clear that revenue from the tournaments will be put to Bitcoin development. Code. I'm in Singapore. Man, I got some free passes. I haven't had time to deal with this, but I will. I'm speaking at Singapore at the end of the month and then at the end of the following month. Okay. Q&A. All right, I got 20 minutes. I got 11. It'll be 11. I got to check out by noon. I still want to go eat. I want to. No, I've been under the weather, so I haven't exercised at all in a long time. Oh, Corey, that's not. I have 5 more. I have a lot more tabs open than this. You're just seeing one browser. Okay. Questions. Let's hope they're good. Whoa, a lot of questions. Shoot. All right, let me open a chart. I'm going to close this. Good job. Good job finding. You can find hundreds of these triangles. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. All right, let's do it. Questions? Any opinion on the Bitfinex and USDT exchange premium, which is rising and it's not arbitraged, and the Tether losing the $1 peg? It's a long discussion. Maybe we'll do it. I mean, this is not new, right? I showed you the chart. This is not new. Like clockwork, Bitfinex has problems moving their money. I mean, Bitfinex is a Mt. Gox waiting to happen, guys. Been saying it for a long time. You're taking a risk. You're taking a risk. I believe, my opinion is that Bitfinex is a Mt. Gox waiting to happen. I never, ever, ever felt comfortable with Bitfinex. So trade at your own risk. I should probably buy a futures contract on a CME. I have access to that. I'm gonna take a look at that because I don't want to put my Bitcoin at risk. I have an account. Oh crap, my retirement isn't allowed to trade futures. Shit. Damn. All right, we'll see. I'll think of something. Can you please take a quick look at BCH? Are you serious? Sure. God, I always have a problem with BCH charts because I don't know, because they keep messing with their ticker. BCH BTC 1 day. Okay. Let's try this. Because they didn't know what their ticker was. Does this have any annotations? It doesn't. So maybe this is not my old chart. Oh, this looks bad. Yeah, this looks bad. I'm happy about it. Very, very happy. There was a pump on the news that, what's it called? Bitmain is going public and it's over. Oh boy, I can't wait till Bcash goes below this line. This shit is gonna accelerate like a dumpster fire. This is an ugly chart, guys. This is an ugly, ugly, ugly chart. This is an ugly chart. Just look at it. Just look at it. What in the world do you see that's bullish here? I mean, fundamentally, fundamentally, Bcash is garbage as well, but technically it certainly is. Oh, what a disaster. I can look for another ticker. Should have just named them all Bcash. No, oh, wait, what am I doing? I'm in the wrong place. Oh, that's from September 17th. Bitcoin crash. Nice. That's what I named it. Well, that's interesting. What is this? Oh, I remember that. No, what is this? Oh, this is a Bitcoin chart. Oh, it's Bitcoin crash. Okay, never mind. I know what that is. I remember what that was. Had nothing to do with Bcash. Oh man, so BCH, BTC. Here's one from March. It's the one I'm looking at. I don't know. I don't have a chart for it. I don't care, guys. It's pure nonsense. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Okay, real questions. What about the monthly RSI divergence on S&P 500? Same as the October 2007 top. I don't know. I haven't looked at the monthly chart of the S&P. Do I have a monthly chart of the S&P? S&P monthly, I have it. I see the divergence. I see it. Same as 2007 top. Well, not really, right? That was way more of a rounded top. This one has a double top. Yeah, it's divergence. It's definitely divergence. What does that mean? That means that according to the monthly chart, you have a high probability of taking out the 26, 24 low and bouncing off of the 30-month moving average, just like you did back in January of 2016. So yes, you are correct. Since I just saw a tipped question come in, I got that one, Corey. Oh, this is Google. Yeah, see, Google told you to stay short, and then today you would probably be out. Load chart layout, T, LRY. I think that someone is really in this weed stock, marijuana stock, cannabis stock. I have no idea what the proper name for it is. And they always tip me to look at it. Ooh, had a good day. I would not have expected this. So here's the deal. This is the daily chart. If tomorrow or if Monday you get a higher open and higher high than today, than Friday was, if Monday is a positive day, this thing has a chance to break above 175. So I would not be short. I mean, this price flip, I would have been short on somewhere in this vicinity. I would take the stop loss. It's a very volatile stock. You really got to be careful with this guy. I would consider a long trade on Monday with a higher high and see if we can knock that out. The moment you're profitable, you set a break-even stop loss and hope for the best. Done. Now we can save it. Okay, next, questions from Corey. Discuss the correlation between the stock market and Bitcoin. Does this TA and projections change? That's a long discussion. Hey, Corey, can you just like ping me with that question after? I don't have time for it. This is more than a 5-minute answer and I only have 13 minutes left. What is the narrative now about not spending Bitcoin, only holding? When would be an appropriate time or metric in those? No, it's not like you're misunderstanding the concept. It's not like it's a metric now. I've been saying it since 2014. Just check out my Twitter, right? It's not about holding versus saving. It's about proper spending. So if you look at my Twitter, you really want to go and read this article right here. This is the tweet. You want to read this article from Cointelegraph. When did we write this article? So me and Ian DiMartino and I believe Ian DiMartino writes for Coin Journal now. That's Ian DiMartino and that's me. We both wrote this article. He published it. I wrote half of it. He wrote the other half of it. We had a Lincoln Douglas style debate on email for the purposes of an article. And then he would email me, I would email him, he would email me, I would email him, and then he put it together and published it. So the argument was when you should spend your Bitcoin. It's not about not spending your Bitcoin. It's about spending your Bitcoin with people, companies, whatever. It's about spending your Bitcoin with those that believe in Bitcoin, not for the purposes of spending your Bitcoin. I believe Jimmy Song is about to publish an article on this topic. Let me see if he already has. He has not. I believe Jimmy is going to publish an article any minute or any day. Maybe he's waiting for Monday. I don't know. Because I proofread the article a little bit for concept and stuff, and I really liked it. So it's not this, is it? No, it's a different one. And it's a very good article, so read it when it gets published. Read Jimmy's next article on Medium. So it's not about not spending. It's about only spending when it's not being directly converted into dollars. Because when you spend your Bitcoin with a business that doesn't take possession of any of that Bitcoin, you might as well just sell the Bitcoin, and you might as well use a credit card and sell the Bitcoin. Jimmy's correct. It makes more sense for you and for everybody involved. Like I never spend my Bitcoin with companies that don't give a shit about Bitcoin. I respect Bitcoin more than that. So anytime someone is accepting Bitcoin because they want to hold at least a fraction of that Bitcoin, please spend the Bitcoin with them. The more Bitcoin they hold of your purchase, the more you should be willing to spend Bitcoin with that seller of goods or services. Next, great monthly chart discussion, interesting ideas. You think next week is critical if we close red 2 below red 1? That doesn't make sense to me. Next, we're not going to have a red 2 below red 1 on a monthly chart. So, oh, next week, sorry. So you praise me on monthly charts, but your question is about weekly charts. You think next week is critical if we close? Okay, so listen to the question very carefully. And this is important if you haven't attended my workshops. Do you think next week is critical if we close red 2 below red 1? I think it's critical if next week trades at a red 2 below red 1. If it closes at a red 2 below red 1, it's confirming what I already expected. But the critical part is Monday and Tuesday trading below this week's low. That's the critical part, not the closing of that, because it can close $1,000 lower and you missed your trade, right? Now, if it doesn't close at a red 2 below red 1, then that can make you nervous of your statistically probable trade. But the critical part, the most critical part, is not whether it closes at a red 2 below red 1, whether it trades below it. Because for a trader, for planning your next month or two of Bitcoin expectations, the closing is more critical. But as a trader, and this is more for traders show, the most critical thing is the trade below the red 1. Next. Is there any reason for the lack of arbitrage between Bitfinex and other exchanges? Yeah, of course. Bitfinex is dangerous to trade on, and it's not easy to arbitrage because you can't move your fiat from one place to another. It's very difficult. Yeah, it's hard to move the fiat. That's why arbitrage is tricky. Next. Subprime mortgages with no down payment and a 90% approval rate are being issued like candy. Did we learn nothing from 2008? Maybe not. I don't know. Probably not. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure that's not happening as bad as it was in the US before. Again, I'm not really going to discuss that question. It's too long, and I need an economic show. Next, what do you think about the Liquid by Blockstream? Won't it centralize Bitcoin? Potentially, but it centralizes Bitcoin in a decentralized-ish way. So a Liquid from Blockstream is a good product. I am a fan of it. All right, guys. Please check out the Unconfiscatable conference. It reroutes to my website due to backend simplicity, but there is unconfiscatable.com, which will reroute to Tonvei's Unconfiscatable conference. And it's a celebrity poker game and conference. So we're going to try to get some celebrities paying 1 Bitcoin. Hopefully I can get 30 of them. If not, people that register for the play-in tournament will be able to, we'll come up with a way. Like if I can't get 30 celebrities to, to part with their 1 Bitcoin to enter that game that we're gonna mic everybody up and try to live stream, I will open up those 1 Bitcoin celebrity game seats to those that have registered for the play-in game. And the play-in game is 0.1 Bitcoin, top 100 people maximum. The room won't fit more than 10 tables. It will be a private room at a casino with professional dealers, hopefully. That's the plan. And it will be fun. And then there's a full conference. I got more speakers coming up. Peter Todd should have a card. And yeah, and my workshops. Oh, how do I get to workshops? Oh, it's these workshops. Oh, I need a way to actually get back to tonebase.com from here. I gotta talk to my web dev. Web dev, if you're watching, I don't want to say your name. You gotta give me the permission to say your name. I'll need a way from the conference site to get back to the Tonebase site. And workshops. Check out the workshops. And please, if you like my work and want to support my work, check out the affiliates. I will consider making my first trade of the year in Bitcoin before I get on my 8-hour flight to Thailand, and hope for the best, because Bitcoin does some crazy stuff while I'm on long flights. Later, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all. I should turn the camera on and stop screen share. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My last day in Kiev. Love the place. It's awesome. You guys have been great. Shout out to Hackett Conference. And I'll be back here as soon as I can. Later, guys.